Identify something. What's the second step? Perfect results in a perfect world. Third step. Everything that you could do. The fourth step is
start building
on everything that you will do. And then the fifth step is implement and commit. The more you implement your system, the more you commit to your system, the more belief you will have in your system, the more your system will work, the more you will know what doesn't work. If your system is ABC 1, 2, 3, and you're only doing ABC and sometimes 1 and 2, you don't always do 2 and 3. You don't know if your system works or not, and what changes might need to be made. So implement and commit to your system. Is that helpful?
Yes.
All right. So that's what I do for everything within my organization, whether it's post-coaching, parties, team support, recognition. I can tell you exactly what I do, when I do it, and why I'm doing it. Maybe it's something I heard from somebody else, and I'll say why I don't do things as well. All right, so now we're going to switch gears a little bit. Me and Brad will be good. I tend to look out, and there's people right there smiling at me. That's awesome. Okay, that's a smaller print. I think my glasses go with it. Okay, so now we're going to move to Green by 15. And we're going to talk about your personal team. If you're at the director level, everybody's at the director level. We'll talk about our personal team green, and then as upper level directors, and there's quite a few in the room, we're going to talk about having your directors in your organization, Green by 15 as well. So Jean showed a shot of my vision board. That was actually from this month. On February 15th, all of the, I love that you called us a fleet. That was a battleship. Oh. That was a growl. I don't think battleships growl. Sticks my script here. What you may not have seen is that 48.9% of the directors in my organization were green by the 15th of the month. It was not that way a couple of years ago. And I was actually talking with Judy and Jean about culture and everything. And I said, culture is easy to create because you start with those new people. Culture is hard to change. And so we work really, really hard consistently to change the culture in our organization, not to just be paid a title every month, but to be green by 15. And we are not there yet. And I'm going to talk about incentivizing in a second. I'm actually putting a lot of money into creating that culture of being green by 15 right now. And I'll talk to you about why and when I do those kinds of things. But first I want to talk about the power of influence that we have as leaders. So recently I was doing a coaching call with one of my directors, a girl called Megan, and she said, the other day, Megan was walking through the house. No, her daughter, Megan said her daughter, who was 3, was walking through the house with like a fake something in her hand. And she goes, Mom, I've got to call with Stacy. So, 3 years old, her daughter had heard her say, I have a call with Stacy. She was listening, she listened to the words that her mom said. My 7-year-old daughter, she'll just get in the shower with me. So I'll already be in the shower sometimes, and she'll come in and say, Mom, can I get in the shower with you? And I'll say, sure. And she has this whole process. She takes her hair, puts it in a ponytail, puts the shower cap on, takes off all of her clothes, goes to the bathroom, steps on the scale, and then goes into the shower. I never told her to do that. She watched me before I get into the shower. And yes, I wear a shower cap. I only wash my hair once a week. I look really cute in that shower cap too. Okay, so here's what I want you to know. As leaders and upper level leaders, you influence your team a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's with the words that you use. Sometimes it's with the actions or the things that you do. Almost always with the goals that you set and the recognition that you give towards those goals. So last year, we're going to talk about this influencing. And I'm going to ask you a question first. As leaders, how do you want to feel running your Camper Chef business? Energized. What else? Confident. Happy. Proud. Excited. Motivated. All how you want to feel. Anybody really want to feel stressed? Yes. Does anybody really want to feel like you're making people do something that they don't really want to do? No. So, last year, I asked my team, the leaders of my team, why they wanted to be green by 15, and why they thought it was important to be green by 15. And so I'm going to share with you some of the things that they said. I'm going to talk about why it's important to be green by 15. And you can probably already guess why it's important to be green by 15. So I asked them, I did a little poll on my page, my Facebook page, and it had 3 things they could vote for. The question was, how important is it for you to be Director Green by 15? And they could choose either, I'm always working to be green by 15, I haven't ever made that my goal, but I want to start working on it, to be green by the end of the month. The vast majority of them said, I always have a goal to be Director Green by 15. And some of them did say, I need to start working towards that. And there were a couple that said, I just want to be green by the end of the month. And that's what I want to talk to you about first. Minimums are a necessity in our business, right? They have to be there. There's always going to be a minimum personal sales requirement to be paid every day. There's always going to be a minimum team sales requirement. There's always going to be points to earn excellence awards and sales amounts to earn excellence awards and to earn incentive trips. There's going to be programs that you participated that have minimums, like what? And what are the minimum requirements for that? 8 parties and 2 groups a month. Oh, that's it. All right, so it's tempting. I know it is so tempting to set your goal as those minimums, especially if you weren't achieving those things before. You're trying to increase to that amount, and then that becomes your goal. Working to a minimum will always turn you into a manipulator instead of being a motivator. Always. Working to minimums will always turn you into a manipulator instead of being a motivator. Think about a time when you were working on the last couple of days of the month to reach that minimum goal, to get that 8th party, to get that 2nd recruit, to be paid at your title, to earn excellence awards, to earn an incentive trip. The times that I was focused on the minimums, and I felt very dependent on other people instead of empowered, I was begging, I was pleading, I was probably pushing people in a way that I shouldn't have been pushing. I wasn't inspiring them. I wasn't encouraging them, and I certainly wasn't leading them. So, well, we'll okay. All right, so everybody that said, that's just like dropping my mic. I don't need to say anything else about it, right? You got it. Okay, cool. So everybody that said that they had a goal to be Director Green by 15, or they're going to start focusing on that, I messaged them and I said, why was it important to you, and how did you know that should be your goal. And overwhelmingly, the reason that they said it was important to them was because they didn't want to feel stressed working their business. They wanted to feel empowered. They wanted to be inspired. They wanted to be in control of the current month and be able to start influencing the next month. So I have actually some of their exact quotes that I'm going to read to you. So this leader said, I want to be green by 15 so that I can focus on the next month without having to stress over the last few days of the month. It's important to get ahead and not constantly be digging out of the hole. Another one said, because then I'm not stressing at the end of the month about whether or not I'll make it. Another one said, being green by 15 allows me more time to dedicate to training and supporting my team with their business. That's leadership. Another one said, it's important to be green by 15 because then I know we are doing our best and we can spend the rest of the month planning our attack for the following month. So then the second question I asked them was, how did you know that it was a goal that you should set? And they said, well, you always talk about being green by 15. Words. They said, when you started the drawing for being green by 15, this recognition incentive. When you posted recognition about being green by 15, you said it was a goal we should set. The postcards you sent, this is a director, the postcards you sent when I was a consultant for being green by 15, I just started shooting for director green by 15. Another one, it was an incentive I was running at the time. From the consultant PC tracker you sent each month, that I could get $1 every time I went green by 15. I saw you were green by 15 every month. What I heard from them was the goals that I shared, the words that I used, the recognition I gave, and the example I set influenced the goals they were setting and the actions they were taking. So green by 15 is a strategy that you can have a system in place to support. And when I was talking about this actually with Kathy last year, she's like, oh yeah, that's called a SMART system. I'm like, yes. A SMART system is SMRT. Take out the A. I'm going to tell you what they are and then I'll go through them, okay? S is support. M is market. R is recognition. And T is train. So when you set the goal to be green by 15, whether you're a consultant, you're active by 15, or you're a leader, you're director green. That means the team has at least 5,000 in sales. The first question you ask yourself is how can you as the leader support that? And support is just providing opportunities for them to reach that goal. So what are some things that you could do as leaders to provide opportunities for your teams to be green by 15? I love that. A mega party every month. You have a mega party. Everybody's invited. Perfect. That's an opportunity she's put into place to help support that. What else? Booking list. Yes. Absolutely. What else could you do?
I run a block party for the people who are not comfortable with it the first week of every month, and then they can invite all their hosts to that.
Love it. So it's similar to the mega party. That's fantastic. Good. A really simple thing that you can do with your personal team, or you can teach your directors to do, is to have a 30-book show challenge every single month. If your team is booking 30 shows, you will be a green by 15 team, and most likely you will be green by 15. I'm sorry, you'll be green team for sure, and most likely you will be green by 15. And it's as simple as, like when I did it with my team, I took a spiral notebook, numbered it 1 to 30. I didn't include any of my bookings because I wanted them to be a part of this. I asked who already had bookings, and I wrote their name down. So if Roxanne had 3 bookings, I wrote her name on 3 spots. And then if Shelley had 4 bookings, I wrote her name on 4 spots. And I was like, okay, we've got 7 bookings, we need 23 more. And then we go into the booking list to fill those extra spots. So there's a goal that they're reaching for. That's part of a bigger goal of being a green team and being green by 15. But every month, if you focus on having 30 booked shows from your personal team, and your shows, of course, are included in that, you'll be a green by 15 team. Okay. And I already, they've been saying this all weekend now. Some will fly, one will flop, some will flip. So the more shows you have, the more recruits are coming in. So the next step is how can you market that? And actually that 30 book shows challenge is kind of a little marketing piece as well. Marketing is just publicizing it. It's posting about it. It's talking about it. It's making sure that people know what the goal is. It's not announcing it at the beginning of the month and then never saying anything else about it all month long. Jean showed, this is a totally different goal, but Jean showed a picture of that jar with the 4,000 on it. Like you might not have seen in there, there's a dime for every new consultant that comes onto our team. And then at the end of the year, how much money will we have in that jar? Good. It took me a minute to figure it out. I actually got a calculator to make sure. We'll have $400 that will go to St. Jude's, the organization voted on a charity that they wanted to donate the money to. Every single week, I post a picture of that jar. Every single week. I'm marketing that goal every single week. So ask yourself, and make this is part of your system, how are you going to market this Green by 15 every single week to your personal teams and to your organization? The next, the vision board. So that was part of my marketing. On the 16th of every single month, I do the post with all of the teams that are Green by 15, and they get a big shout out for doing that. On your personal team, on my personal team, every single month, on the 16th of the month, I tag all of the consultants that are active with 150 in sales. And I'll say what else I do, but they just get some recognition. It costs me nothing but a few minutes of time to post that. So then, let's go to the recognition piece of this. I'm jumping ahead of myself. So you all have heard this phrase, recognize what you want. You know the second half? I made up a little second half. Who knows it? Becky Adams, you know it, don't you?
About protecting it?
No. Incentivize? Okay, I'll tell you. I'm counting you, girl. Come on. Recognize what you want repeated. Incentivize what you want to influence. We get paid an activity bonus every month for each active consultant in our organization. That can be a lot of money. If you're an upper level director and you have those second gen directors, you're paid $100 for each second gen director. That's paid as their title. As an executive, as a national executive director, I get $900 car allowance every single month. My car's paid for it. So for me, in my mind, that $900 is what I'm going to use to influence behaviors in my team. I'm not telling you you have to give away all of your money. By all means, everybody's got a budget, you know what you are capable of. But I always ask myself the question, what would I have when I reach this goal that I wouldn't have if I don't reach this goal? And that difference is the money that I'm willing to give up and play with to create the behavior, to create the actions, to create the culture that I want. And then once I have that culture, I stop paying for it. So it used to be I would put all my money into just being paid at title every month. Well, we're paid at title every single month. I'm not going to throw money at that anymore. That's just throwing money away. What I now want is I'm going to be paid at my title by the 15th of every single month. So that money is going to influence Any questions about that? Recognition is free. You've heard it. It's not about, or this is what I call this one. It's not about the memento, it's about the moment. Your moments can be done on Facebook. It doesn't cost you anything. A couple minutes to do that. What do you want to influence? Put money behind that to create the behaviors that you want. So, some of the things that I do for directors, they get cash. I would say, speaking to the upper level directors, I'm all about empowering people, so I work very closely with my first gen directors and hold them accountable to work with their first gen directors, and they hold them accountable to work with their first gen directors. In 3 years, or a year or two, or whatever, Melody, your team went from advanced, there you are. Your team went from advanced to senior executive director last year, right? Yeah, okay. But there was some movement. Oh, Becky. Yeah, okay, whatever. My point is, I got a point to this. I really do. Your organization could look like that screenshot that Jean showed mine very quickly, especially as you all start to adopt this virtual. So think about the systems that you have in place and what you're doing to support your leaders today. Can you do that when your organization looks like that? And the more you empower others, the stronger your team will be. So, my incentives go to my first gen. Quite frankly, that's the last part of the organization to be to be paid a title to where we meet our structure. I'm the only one that can fill my first gen. I'm the only one that can influence my first gen. So right now, my incentive is, now it's steep. I'm going to tell you, you do not have to do this, but my incentive is when they are grade by 15 and we are paid a title and they set their goals with me. They have to do that every single month. They get $100. I'm paying well. I should be paying out $700 this month. But we will be green by 15. Like the needle is moving. We are never NED on the last day of the month. It's usually the week before. It's getting closer and closer to that 15. If you saw that, and it trickles down throughout the entire organization, right? So I just have to tell you, there was a leader last month who was green by 15. We were at national title. She did not set her goals, so she did not get the $100. And yeah, Shaughnessy, green by 15 this month. She'll be getting $100 from me at the end of the month. Yeah. All right, so that's something I do with my leaders. Posting, we talked about that. With your personal team, some of the things that I'm doing right now this month is we have, I'm sure you all are doing this, a green by 15 postcard. They get a postcard in the mail. Somebody else said this. They collect 3 postcards in a row. They get 15 Pamper Chef dollars from me. I make them send the postcards back to me, mail it back to me, and then I send them 15 Pamper Chef dollars. They're getting recognition. They're getting a little something from it. It's creating culture for when they are leaders. Something else that I've done is we're doing a weekly Happy Meal drawing. Because our business has become more weekly and less monthly. Think about it, 4 parties a week, 1 new consultant every week. So it's every Monday. The first Monday of the month, whoever is active, I have a little graphic that I've created that has the dates of every Monday on it. Little boxes. If the 7 of you, with the 7 that were active, by the first Monday of the month, your names go in that first box. I do a drawing, and somebody from that box gets a Happy Meal. I mean, it's like Post-it notes, it's a pen, it's whatever little tchotchkes I have laying on. We all collect them, right? And we have Barbara's trying to get rid of them. All the little things, you know, that's it. It's recognition, and it's a little tchotchke in the mail. Week 2, second Monday comes. Y'all are still in the drawing. There's a huge benefit for being green by the 3rd or the 4th of the month. But now all of you are active also. You go into the drawing as well. Third week, now you all are active. All 3 tables are in the trunk. Make sense? I go into wheelofnames.com, I type their names in. It stores the names, which is really nice. So I'm only adding the new people each week. I hold my phone up to my computer screen, I go live, I hit the button, it spins, and somebody throws confetti. Woo woo! Go Series! She's a happy meal. That's 2 things I do with my personal team. I did say happy meal. Happy meal? Oh, that was what I said. Did I say happy meal? I have an accent. Oh, I know. You guys always wanted an accent. Seriously, don't try. We all wish that you had like that cute little southern accent. I've always wanted an accent. You seem so happy. Okay. McDonald's. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, so here's your incentives do not have to be expensive. Let me tell you. They can be. Pardon? Oh, it's not an app. It's a website. There might be an app. I use the website wheelofnames.com. So last national conference, we had an incentive for our directors to all be green by 15 or green by conference. It was early in the month or whatever. I was like, anybody that's director green by 15 is going to get beads. I went to Oriental Trade, $12 bucks for a box of 100 beads. This is what one of the girls said back to me when I asked her why she thought it was important to be green by 15. I made it a goal when last month I almost didn't make director green. And I decided I never wanted that to happen again. Also, I was really mad I didn't get those beads at conference. Like, come on, right? So don't think that it's got to be $100. It could be a sticker on a little ribbon. It can be anything. It's important that you're talking about it. You're setting the expectation, that you're putting things in place to help them to achieve it, and that you're recognizing them when they're doing it. And then the last one is train. Support, market, recognize, train. And I want to tell you what I said at the beginning. It's easy to create culture. It's hard to change culture. So create it from the moment that new consultant joins your team. Set the expectation. We do four parties a week. From that, we usually welcome one new consultant. You can expect that one person from those 4 parties is going to join your team. That's how you onboard them. We get paid on the 21st of the month, so you want to make sure that you're submitting sales between the 1st and the 15th so that you're getting paid on the 21st. All of those things that you say, the moment they join your team, is training to the culture that you want to create with them. When you have a new director that promotes within your organization, okay, it's really important. We're going to focus on having your director requirements, the 5,000, met by the 15th of the month, so that you're not stressed, so that you're not manipulating, that you can support and focus on helping your team. And the way you do that is by focusing on booking 30 shows. You're going to recognize the people in your team that are active by the 15th, just like you saw me do when you were a part of it. And that's training. We book parties every single week. So one question I ask consultants when they on their onboarding, they all say they only make $300 or $400 a month because they don't know that they can make $1,000, $2,000 a month starting out. So when they say that, and I say, well, we usually do 4 parties at a time because it's way easier to do 4 parties in 1 week than 1 party a week. And usually you make about $400 a week. So do you only want to work 1 weekend a month? Or are you willing to work every weekend a month? They all say, well, I want to work every weekend a month. I was just going to do 1 party a week. You're doing the same amount of work. Now we're going to put it all together. You're working every week. And they're not making $400 a month. They're making that $1,000 a month doing those 4 parties a week. So that's actually a strategy, is to teach to book 4 parties every single week. And then, I'm going to preface this, but I woke up this morning and I said to Barb, I felt so bad. I don't remember who asked me about the future party pick. What do you do if you're in direct ship? I'm like, I can't help you. Who asked me that? It was you. I felt so bad about my response. I'm so sorry about that. I did. I really felt badly because I don't have an answer, but I could have opened it up and somebody could have helped you, and I couldn't. I'm going to preface this one with, if you're not on direct ship, a strategy you can have is to strategically close your last week of parties in the first week of the next month. So I'm not on direct ship. So what I do is I look at my month as week 4 and 1 through 3. Like, that's how I'm planning my parties. Those are my sales for the month. So these parties that I'm getting ready to, that I just started, maybe not the connection, whatever, they will close in March. If you are on direct ship, whether you're on direct ship or not, the first 2 weeks of every are your power weeks. You always front load those weeks. If you're going to do 10 parties in a week, those are the weeks to do it. If 10 is a lot, like we'll all tell you 10 is a lot, but 4 to 5 is really easy. If you have down here, picture your calendar. 2, you've got 3, you've got another 2, you've got 1. You have got to reach out to these hosts in weeks 3 and 4 and in some way get them to weeks 1 and 2. Because then you can fill weeks 3 and 4 from weeks 1 and 2. So always focus on those first 2 weeks of the month before you offer anything else. And teach your new consultants to do that. They need to know how to offer first available dates. You help them identify what are the first 2 weeks that you can book parties. It's always next week, always. And the week after. No matter when they start, it's always next week and the week after. And you teach them to book every single week, and you're always offering the first 2 weeks that you have available. Okay. I got a summary. I think I got it. All right, good. All right, so summary. Ready? Good. Am I going on? How am I supposed to be done? Tomorrow? Okay. We start early? Cool. All right, so I asked you, how do you want to feel in your business? And now I'm going to ask you, how do you want your consultants and your leaders to feel working their business? Do you want the culture of your team to be a culture of stress, a culture of struggle, a culture of feeling manipulated? Or would you prefer your consultants and your leaders to feel confident, caring, and inspirational, and motivating? How much more could we all accomplish in our business by simply moving our goal to be Director Green by 15 instead of Director Green by month end? It might not happen right away. It's probably not going to happen right away. Just like I'm not meeting my national structure by the 15th. But like I said, we're moving the need. There's less stress on everyone that way. So what's going to be your strategy? What are you going to do? What systems are you going to put into place? There are 3 really easy things you can do. First, lead by example. Remember that leader that said to me, I saw you were great by 15? Are you active every single month before the 15th of the month? Do you have your 750 in every single month by the 15th of the month? Are you booking 4 parties a week every single week? You are leaders. You're not that consultant that's in it for money. You're the leader. 4 parties a week, every single week. Have that strong personal business. Personally sell $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Minimally 4. About that big pile of cash that's on the table. When you sell $3,500, you're leaving money on the table. Right? that $4,000 minimally every single month. When you sell that $5,000 yourself, imagine how much time and energy and influence you can have with your team, with your organization. It's not that you don't need them anymore. It's that you have met the requirement and now you can be all focused on them. Find a partner. Some of my best friends in my whole life have come from Camper Chef. I can tell you, like, Love Carpenter and I have worked together for years. And when she promoted to National Executive Director, it was like my sister promoted to National Executive Director. Becky Ishki and I have created the onboarding new consultants back when it was in PC University together. We grow together. Everybody is stronger when we work together. So who in your life wants the same things that you want in your PC life? Who's ready to move to that Director 3 by 15 with you? Strategize together. Some of the best things that I've implemented in my business were not my own ideas. I've learned that I am not the initiator. I am the make it amazing person. Like, you give me the idea and I'm going to take it to the next level. So you need both of those type of people in your life. Find a partner, work with them. Develop that SMART system for being Director 3 by 15. Support it, market, recognize it, and train it. And then lastly, don't let fear hold you back. Don't be afraid to do something different. Maybe this hasn't been your goal for your organization, for your personal team. Maybe this is going to be the very first time that you start talking about it with them. It's going to be the first time that you start training to it, the first time you start supporting it, the first time you start recognizing it. And in the words of our little country friend, Darius Rucker, he sings a song, "When was the last time you did something for the first time?" Every day, do something for the first time. And maybe for you today, it's, I'm setting a goal to be Director Green.